48 months. You make the choice, you get the Ford with the rebate or interest rate to fit your budget. The best deal around, Snipes Ford, 321 East Ash Street, Goldsboro.
Well, it looks like we've got a cloudy and breezy afternoon ahead of us with periods of rain that may turn heavy at times. We'll look for high temperatures ranging from around 40 toward the northwest to 54 down toward the southeast. We do have a flood watch in effect starting this afternoon, running into Wednesday afternoon. Tonight, periods of rain and rain showers still likely. A stiff north to northeast wind and lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies. Some lingering sprinkles or light showers, mostly before lunchtime. Highs tomorrow around 45 to 50. I'm Mike Moss at the Weather Center.
I'm Olympic gold medalist Gail Devers. I have a thyroid disorder. When your thyroid isn't working right, you could feel tired, forgetful, or depressed. For more information on your thyroid, ask your doctor about having a simple TSH test. A message from the American Medical Women's Association.
Students from 31 countries need host families here in America. For information, call 1-800-SIBLING. That's 1-800-SIBLING.
Greetings to you, conversationalists all across the fruited plain. I am Rush Limbaugh, a leading member of a vast right-wing conspiracy. In fact, I, my friends, am the Mr. Big of a vast right-wing conspiracy, proudly delving into the truth each day here on the Excellence in Broadcasting Network.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now, from our studios in New York, here is Rush Limbaugh.
Thank you, Johnny Donovan. Thanks, one and all. Day 7, ladies and gentlemen, of the conspiracy known as Tailgate is underway as we speak right now. Our phone number, if you'd like to be on the program today, is 1-800-282-2 Get hooked on me, and we send that out to all of the interns in the White House, what the president should have said all along. Nice to have you with us, ladies and gentlemen. Off to a rousing start we are. Yes, Mrs. Clinton on the Today Show today. And is this a state of denial or what? This stand that Hillary is taking, if you can call it that, has become the focal point of many, many people. In fact, Gloria Borger has written a huge column, by huge, I mean long, column in her story in the U.S. News and World Report, which tries to analyze this. And I'll treat you to various aspects of what she says as the program unfolds today. What about this right-wing conspiracy, this vast right-wing conspiracy, which, by the way, I am very proud to be a leading member of. My friends, is hoping and praying that she'd mention my name today. But you know something? In looking at what she said, she didn't just focus on Starr anymore, which means to me, ladies and gentlemen, that James Carville's appearance on Meet the Press, where he went out and attacked Starr, was test-marketed, and it must have tested well, because now the official White House position is to say that Starr is only part of the plot. There's a vast right-wing conspiracy. Up to now, they've been focusing totally on Starr, but now they're branching beyond Starr. So it must be playing well out there in the test marketing or focus group data that they're doing. But I have just one question. Well, here is Mrs. Clinton now. Just listen to it yourself, and you guys let me know when you have it ready in there. There's just one simple response to this. There's only one response necessary for what she says here.
But I do believe that this is a battle. I mean, look at the very people who are involved in this. They have popped up in other settings.
Yeah.
This is the great story here for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
Mrs. Clinton, and this is a question all of you should, anytime you run into liberals online, you run into liberals in the course of your daily life that frustrate you here and want to start joining this mantra, just ask this one simple question. All right, fine, Mrs. Clinton, good. Could you tell us the member or members of this vast right-wing conspiracy who hired Monica Lewinsky?
Young girl, get out of my life. It's getting scary and it's not just my wife. You've been a fun girl, but you're too young, girl. What's all the harm? You're an intern.
Who gave her the security clearance, Mrs. Clinton?
And keep the secret of your youth.
Who tried to get her a job or jobs outside the White House, Mrs. Clinton?
You led me to believe you're old enough to keep it shut.
Who admitted to the Jennifer Flowers affair, Mrs. Clinton? What right-wing conspirator did all this? Where are they? Who are they?
Young girl, I'm out of my mind. My love for you is colored out of the lines. You've been a fun girl. Go bite your tongue, girl.
What right-wing conspirator sent James Riotti into the White House with bags of money?
Hey, maybe later we can make up. You'll have to meet me in disguise. Can you dress down to be at least 43 when you're seen with me? Not one with looks in skirts too tight. Oh, young girl, get out of my life. It's getting hairy and I don't need my wife. You've been a fun girl. Go.
That is Paul Shanklin as Gary Puckett in the Union Gap and Young Girl. Yes, Mrs. Clinton, what right-wing conspirator influenced George Stephanopoulos to go on the Sunday show on ABC and start talking about impeachment. What right-wing conspirator got hold of Leon Panetta and pointed a gun to his head and said, Leon, in the interview with the San Jose Mercury News, you're going to talk about the president's need to resign? What right-wing conspirator could do all this? I want to meet this guy. Because if this guy exists, he hadn't been on the team up till now, and we need to get him. State of denial. Just amazing. Now, this statement. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Let's really parse this. Take it sentence by sentence. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky. It's exactly, and by the way, the punctuation's key here. That comma precedes Ms. Lewinsky. And you listen to, I did not have sexual relations. In fact, do we have that, Mike? Why, we do just happen to have that. Lo and behold, the miracles of broadcast excellence. Go ahead and just play it up to where he says Ms. Lewinsky, so people know that I am not exaggerating, influencing, or otherwise making up, as we right-wing conspirators, leading right-wing conspirators, are accused of doing.
And I need to go back to work for the American people.
Well, that's not what. Yeah, that was at the end. We didn't cue that up. It'll take mere moments, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get to the beginning of this, and you'll hear exactly what I refer to. The first sentence, we're going to parse this sentence by sentence, and it says, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky. Here it is.
But I want to say one thing to the American people.
Eyebrows up.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky.
All right. Hear that pause. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky. I believe that the president here is publicly telling Monica Lewinsky that he and Hillary are not sexually active. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky. The next sentence is, I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. Let's listen.
I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never.
Here, I think the president is indicating that he's told lots of people to lie lots of times, but he's never told anybody to lie only once. Again, I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. It's clear to me, in Clinton speak, that he's told lots of people to lie a lot of times, but he's never told anybody to lie only once. And these allegations are false, who knows, a blanket denial. That's how you parse President Clinton. As I told you yesterday, the press is starting to do this on their own. They're not as practiced at it as we leading right-wing conspirators are, but they're getting up to speed very quickly. It's fun to witness and fun to see. Now we have to take a break. We'll do that and be back in just a second with more. Don't go away.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Hey, would you buy better grades for your child or teenager if you could? You heard me right. From a D to a C, even a B to an A. Well, the phonics game can teach your child or teenager the fast, fun secret to better report cards through superior reading. Teachers will tell you, students who read better have a huge advantage in school. They read faster, retain better, and test taking becomes easier. Well, that's what the phonics game promises to do. Better grades through superior reading skills. In fact, the phonics game promises a 1 full letter grade improvement on your student's next report card or your money back. And if you're wondering why no other reading program promises better grades, it's because they don't teach reading the fast, fun phonics game way. I know. My niece plays it, and she loves it. Look, all students are different, but the promise is the same. Better grades or your money back. And order now for your free comprehension game. The number to call is 800-243-READ. 800-243-READ. 800-243-READ.
Buying a new car? No doubt you're caught up in a frenzy of options. To sunroof or not to sunroof? A spoiler, perhaps? What about an option you might overlook? Lowering your car insurance rate. One 15-minute call to Geico Direct could save you 15% or more. Do it now, because you can't imagine what tears of regret due to new leather seats. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
Learn the facts how you could get financial financial aid for college tuition from Academics Plus. There's over $40 billion available, and families in most all income groups may qualify. Hurry, the funds are dispensed on a first-come, first-served basis. An FACT counselor can help you obtain college aid, filing the correct forms in a timely manner. Call 735-9846 with Dr. Marilyn Benton, FACT, a division of Academics Plus, 1411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro. Call 735-9846.
Great selection, great value, great prices. Catch the best values of the year at the incredible mattress sale going on now at Jernigan Furniture. Get the comfort you want and the support you need with Restonic mattresses. King-size Quantum sets now $499. Get the Quantum Queen sets at $299. Ariel King sets are $599, and Queens only $399. Or the Centerville King size sets, $699, and Queen size sets only $499. All at Jernigan Furniture, and 90 days same as cash. Jernigan Furniture, 2101 East Ash Street, Goldsboro.
Just one taste is all. That's all it takes.
And McCall's Barbecue and Seafood in Goldsboro. McCall's specializes in Oakwood cooked barbecue pork cooked daily. We do chicken and seafood the way you like it. Don't forget our famous country buffet every day from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. We've got something special for everyone. Opening 11 to 9, 7 days a week. McCall's Barbecue and Seafood. Highway 70 East and 111 intersection Goldsboro, and now open in Morehead City on Highway 70 East.
Just one taste, all that it takes. That's all it takes. WGBR.
The all-knowing, all-caring, all-concerned Maharishi, serving humanity, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network at 1-800-282-2882. Those of you on hold, be patient. We'll get to you. A comment. I'm hearing a number of people refer to all this as a crisis for America, a crisis of the country. I don't believe that. And I hear a lot of people, and I hear a lot of Republicans, and I'm going to say, frankly, I think it's maybe wise for them to say it politically, but I don't believe them for a minute. I don't believe anybody who says, I feel so bad. This troubles me. I don't want to see, this is, we want to get this all put back together. The president, let me tell you what this is, folks. We've had an infection. Liken it to a virus, if you will. Started small in the body of our nation. The heartbeat of our nation, some might say, is Washington, D.C., and that's where this virus has been located since 1993. All of a sudden, the white cells of the body of America have come alive, and they are attacking this infection. They are attacking this virus, doing everything they can to rid the nation. This is healthy. This, my friends, is happening in an open and free society. And I thank the mainstream media for finally accepting their constitutional responsibility. There's a big responsibility when the Constitution grants you total freedom of the press to use it to make sure the people of America are properly informed. I welcome the mainstream press to the new media. Celine Dion's one of my favorite performers. A voice so pure that her voice, to me, is just one of the many signs of proof of the existence of God. And we have a Celine Dion song, the love theme from the Titanic, My Heart Will Go On. We have interspersed comments from the players in this latest scandal. I'm really troubled by polluting this beautiful voice. But my friends, for the health of America, it must be done.
I did not do that. I did not do that. And I will be vigorous about it. I did not urge anyone to say anything that was untrue.
Allegations of illicit sex and allegations that Monica Lewinsky was encouraged to lie on the president's behalf.
I felt disgusted, and I saw a side of Bill that I had never seen before.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you.
I did not do that.
That is how I know you go.
He had not had a perfect marriage, that there had been affairs.
I did not do that.
spaces between us. You have come to show you.
I didn't ask anybody not to tell the truth.
He is absolutely lying.
Lie.
Wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on.
The president said flatly that the relationship was not sexual.
That's all I can say now.
You open the door and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on.
Tampering with witnesses,
stings and wires and traps
are very, very serious charges.
Obstruction of
justice.
Where you're dealing with a 24-year-old girl.
Just one time and last for a lifetime, and never let go till we're gone.
I'm not happy with that at all, and it's not nice.
Love was when I loved you one true time. I hold you.
I'm going to cooperate.
In my life will always go.
He clearly had some sort of relationship with this young woman.
Mr. Clinton told her to deny their relationship.
Wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on.
You believe she's likely to have made up that kind of a story?
It's probably likely that, she's making that up.
Why do you say that?
I'll second that.
EIB.
The Clinton pattern seems clear. Deny the allegation for as long as possible until the evidence is overwhelming. Then, and only then, acknowledge it in ambiguous language.
I experimented with marijuana a time or two and didn't inhale.
Mr. President, is that true?
That is not true.
Lie.
There is not a sexual relationship, an improper sexual relationship, or any other kind of improper relationship. What I'm trying to do is to contain my natural impulses. I did not do that. I did not do that.
Once again, Celine Dion, maybe the world's most beautiful voice. But it had to be done, my friend. Just had to be done. Rush Limbaugh and the EIB Network will be back right after this. My good friends, you've been hearing a lot about Clean Shower, the incredible product that makes the nasty job of cleaning your shower virtually a non-job. A light mist of Clean Shower on all the wet surfaces, even the curtain, will render your shower spotless. You don't scrub, you don't wipe, you don't even touch the cleanser. Now, the good people at Clean Shower stand behind this invaluable product. It is 100% guaranteed. Now, be careful of fakes, phonies, and frauds. Get the real thing. Get Clean Shower. Remember, they guarantee it.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
It's time for a look at local news. I'm Thomas Vick on 1150 WGBR. Economic development and water and sewer needs dominated last night's discussion when Wayne County Commissioners met with town leaders from across the county. Every town but Eureka was represented at the meeting except for Eureka. Commissioner Chairman Atlas Price says he's not sure why no one from Eureka showed up. About 35 people attended the meeting at Best Western. The purpose of the meeting was to promote better relations, discuss the county's new strategic plan, and give leaders an opportunity to tell commissioners about their needs. Price said the session was very productive, and there definitely will be more in the future. Bob Smithwick will work as the county's economic development director a while longer. The Wayne County Board of Commissioners last night extended his contract another 6 months. Smithwick requested commissioners increase his salary another $2,000 and pay the expense on a new car he's leasing. Commissioners rejected that idea and instead renewed his contract without any changes. Smithwick, however, will get his money not from commissioners but from the Committee of 100. They agreed to pay the increases. Wayne County Emergency Service officials say the Neuse River is now at 20 feet, 6 feet above its flood level. As a result, some roads have been closed. Caps Bridge Road is now closed, along with Ferry Bridge Road. Wayne County Emergency Service officials say as of now, these are the only two roads closed. However, more around the river may close later today as the river continues to rise. In downtown Goldsboro, the old Bailey's Jewelry Building and the building that housed the Superintendent's store destroyed last week by fire will be condemned and demolished. City Manager Richard Slozak said he's not sure exactly when the demolition will occur. City officials say swift action is necessary because of the current safety hazard. Only the outside walls of the building remain standing. The building's roofs are collapsed. The section of Center Street these two buildings are located has been closed since the fire. The city is currently looking for a demolition company that will do the job. 4th Supporter Group Commander at Seymour Johnson, Colonel Jack Barnes, will be reassigned to Washington, D.C. next month, according to Air Combat Command officials. Barnes will be chief of the Integrated Vulnerability Assessment Team for the Defense Special Weapons Agency. The change of command ceremony will be held February 13th at the 335th Fighter Squadron hangar. That's a look at local news. I'm Thomas Vick on 1150 WGBR.
Well, there is a flood watch in effect across the entire area through Wednesday afternoon now. Looks like this afternoon, low pressure to our south and east will keep us cloudy and breezy. We'll have periods of rain that may be heavy at times. Highs will range from around 40 up toward Roxborough to as high as 54 toward Kinston and points southeast. Tonight, we'll have rain and rain showers still likely, a stiff north and northeast wind, and lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. We'll call it mostly cloudy for Wednesday. Some lingering sprinkles or light showers before noon. We'll look for highs tomorrow around 45 to 50. I'm Mike Moss at the Weather Center.
Performing my job with flawless broadcast excellence, this is Rush Limbaugh on WGBR. My friends, we're not through yet. We've only really just begun. Carpenters, what year was that? 72? I think so, 72. Rush Limbaugh. Guess whose approval ratings are way up here? I'm just reading in USA Today. Newt Gingrich approval rating up to 46%. Disapproval rate 40. Yeah, job approval nearly double the 25% rating he got in March of last year. So in less than a year, he's practically doubled his approval rating. You want to hear something funny? They just keep writing our script for us. The President of the United States, William Jefferson Blythe Clinton, has been nominated for the 1998 Nobel Peace Prize. His name was placed in nomination by 3 legislators from Norway who point to Clinton's efforts to protect world peace and promote democracy. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Peace Prize, 1998 Nobel Peace Prize, with the president now having been nominated. This will redefine what the Peace Prize actually is. The Lippo Tiptoe has been updated. Paul Stillhand sings.
Bill is in the basement reading about impeachment. Al's working hard on writing up the pardon. Hillary alleges, see they're out to get us, but the script is wearing thin. Ought to bring new writers in. The comeback kids trying to hold down the lid. Only David Copperfield would hope to make it disappear. Loose lips, sink ships, and sometimes presidents. The public senses its future consequences, but if there's immunity, then it's final jeopardy. White Watergate, Travelgate, Filegate, Fundygate, time to air the latest. Conjugate and obfuscate. Starr's got a full plate to chew on and investigate. He's got job security as far as the eye can see. The comeback kids launched a preemptive bid. Carville says it's war, Castle Graft, Arkansas. The bill will get a 4F due to physical defects. The galas and the skivvies, cleaning up the privies. If they send women to the front lines, we'll handle who is qualified.
EIB. El Rushbo on the radio.
People scratching their heads. Has the world lost respect? Might be wrong, might be true, but this could be a little clue. Saddam's got a harem. He's offered to share him. If Bill will cut him slack, not attack and give Kuwait back. The comeback kid needs to raise some more quiz. Take the Lincoln bedroom scheme and expand upon the theme. Hey, DNC, want donations to jump, fuel up Air Force One. If they give enough, take them up to Bill's Mile High Club. FDR made history with the day that live in infamy. Substitute years and you get the Clinton legacy. If character is passe and all behavior is okay, if your leaders are cheaters, hitting on cheerleaders, 20 years from now it won't matter much anyway. Look out, kids, don't let your values slip. There's more to staying free than a good economy. The president's men deny it once again, but the State of the Union is one of confusion and his staff can't work cause the scandals must be handled.
Your gong. T-Rex. 71. We have put together a montage, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Clinton today on the Today Show. Rather than go through the whole thing, we try to summarize it for you. We've done that in 24 seconds. At 24 seconds, here is the sum total of the points Mrs. Clinton made.
We're right in the middle of a rather vigorous feeding frenzy right now, and I've just been through it so many times. Bill and I have been accused of everything, including murder. Anyone who knows my husband knows that he is an extremely generous person. I mean, I've seen him take his tie off and hand it to somebody. He never meets a stranger. He is friendly. He tries to help people. Initially, when this first started, I would want to rush out and I'd say, that's not true. A mean-spirited give and take of American politics. Jerry Falwell with videos accusing my husband of murder, of drug running. I would be very disturbed by this turn of events. Well, I don't know if I've been that dramatic. That would sound like a good line from a movie. This is a battle. Vast right-wing conspiracy. He's my president as well as my husband. I believe the country is better off because my husband has been president.
You know, I thought Matt Lauer was applying to be her next husband should all this fall apart, the way he conducted the interview. By the way, that was 47 seconds, not 24. I swear to you, when we put it together, it was 24, but these people are such expansionists, it became 47 seconds when we played it. We timed it. It was 24 seconds. We were getting ready to broadcast. The thing took 47 seconds to actually play. Again, I simply would say to Mrs. Clinton, if this vast right-wing conspiracy, who hired Monica Lewinsky? Who gave her White House pass? Who saw to it that... What right-wing conspirator made the president send her gifts? What right-wing conspirator signed for gifts that she sent to him? What right-wing conspirator got hold of Vernon Jordan in the middle of his days to find his babe a job? What right-wing conspirator called Revlon and whoever knows who else, Bill Richardson of the United Nations, and we'll interview this babe, get her a good, high-paying job? How did all, as I said earlier, if there's a right-wing conspiracy or conspirator that did this, I want to meet the guy. We need him on the team. We could have used him years and years ago. Gloria Borger today, well, this week, in her column in U.S. News, put yourself in Hillary Clinton's shoes. Your husband of 22 years just been deposed in a messy sexual harassment case. In that depot, he apparently has had to admit to one old affair and deny the existence of a newer one with a woman less than half his age. When he gets home that night after a long day at his lawyer's office, you learn that the national press is ready to accuse your husband of trying to silence his young female friend. So what do? Well, according to the First Lady, you sit down with your husband to watch a movie and have a good time that evening. The next day, you go to church, come home, clean closets, the things we've been meaning to do and had been putting off. Those are in quotes. Clean closets. Did Jennifer Flowers enter into the discussion as the President and First Lady sorted out their old clothes? Were shoes thrown during a chat about the former White House intern or ex-staffer Kathleen Willey? Sources, all of whom understandably say they must remain anonymous, report that Saturday night was considerably less fun for the Clintons than publicly described. The first couple was set to join Erskine Bowles and his wife for dinner. The Clintons abruptly canceled and dined alone, which raises obvious questions. What exactly do they say to each other? How do they talk about Paula or Monica or Kathleen? Does she ask whether it's true? Does she already know? Do they talk strategy like a good political team? Or do they talk divorce as the rest of us might? Does he deny or does he fess up? Does she believe or go into denial? What kind of marriage is this anyway? Not even their closest friends pretend to really know. That's Gloria Borger, ladies and gentlemen, and it goes on. I mean, those are just the highlights of the first page as I printed it out from the website. I have this story here for, what is this? This is, I forget what newspaper this ran in, but it's headline, Clinton Scandal Poses Kid Dilemma. The evening news was on. Laura Mooney was making dinner with her 12-year-old daughter, Kara, when the question came.
Mom, did Bill Clinton do it?
It reminded me of how she responded to the O.J. trial. Kids want things in black and white. They want to know, is this true or not? We need more kids in the press corps. The mother is a 44-year-old social worker. They're looking for boundaries and a simplicity you wish you could offer them. For children, the scandal swirling around President Clinton raises a bewildering array of questions about sex, fidelity, truth, and the foreign world of grown-ups. For parents, the allegations that Clinton had an affair with a 21-year-old intern have meant having to formulate clear answers on a murky topic. Just tell your kids it's sodomy. That's not in the story. I just threw that in. There are both solvable and unsolvable mysteries in the tale of Clinton and Monica. Things parents can tell their children with confidence, things they can't even answer for themselves. Was he unfaithful? How will we know if he's lying? Well, I can tell you that. When you see his eyebrows go up, we pretty much approve this one on our own television show. And does that make him a bad person, a bad president? Chris Zajac, a 46-year-old elementary school vice principal from Holyoke, Massachusetts, said, quote, I said that I thought that infidelity is separate from him being a good president. We've had other presidents who've been worse. Now they're held up as icons, I said. We have to look more at the obstruction of justice, is what she told her kids. All right, look, I'm serious about this. I am dead serious about this. Those of you who are listening right now with children, you either get them out of the room or you change the station, or don't do that, just turn the radio off. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put this in perspective for you, and I'm going to just try to, this is so silly, all this wringing of hands and all these sorts of things that are going on here. What do we tell our children? What are we doing to our children? And then the women of America, those of them that are confused as to whether or not this should even count against him. Just get the kids out of the room here. I'm going to count down from 5. This is not a trick. I'm not trying to put you in. I don't want if you don't want your kids to hear this, and I'm telling you you don't, because you don't want to have to explain what I'm going to tell you to them. But I'm going to help you put this in perspective for yourself and maybe for them. But you don't want them to hear this. Turn it off. Because if you don't like what I'm saying and you think that you've been offended, that'll be your problem. You can't call anybody and say that you were shocked and you don't want this kind of stuff on the radio because you've been warned not to listen to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your last chance. Turn it off. Get them out of the room. I'll give you another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So you're struggling here with whether or not you should tell your kids that this is bad. I told you that when I was at the Super Bowl, I was overwhelmed, my wife and I both. There's a number of women who said in various ways, hey, it doesn't matter. I mean, if he wants to have affairs, it's his business, but it has nothing to do with us. It's not our business, and it has nothing to do with running the country. To which I responded, well, okay, so it's okay for your husband to have an affair? Well, no, it's not. We don't have that kind of relationship, but they do. If Hillary knows about it, she says, it's okay, it's okay. It's none of our business. Okay. Let me try a different tack, because now we're talking about what do we tell our kids. Well, I'm going to put this in a different perspective for you. Not what you tell your kids, but rather imagine your child in the same situation as Monica Lewinsky and ask yourself this question. Do you think it isn't any big deal? You think it's none of your business if your daughter ends up with the President of the United States' penis in her mouth? Would you say that's none of your business? Would you say it's no business of anybody else? Would you say it has no bearing on how he runs the country and we have no right to know? What if it were your daughter? Take a break and be back in a moment.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
You're smart, right? You want fast, accurate trades and seriously low commissions. That's Ameritrade. Internet trade for $8, touch-tone trade for $12, or trade by broker for just $18. Check out Ameritrade.com or call 1-800-403-3399. Open an account by April 15th and get a free IRA for life. Call 1-800-403-3399 or go to Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
Member NASD SIPC, $2,000 minimum equity required to open your account.
If you're taking ordinary vitamin C, you already know that it can upset your stomach. Now there is relief. It's a patented form of vitamin C called Ester C. This is Dr. Ronald Hoffman, physician and nutritionist. I recommend Ester C to my patients because it's non-acidic, so it's gentle on your stomach. Ester C is a unique acid-neutralized formula that provides vitamin C and essential calcium. Look for Ester C in your favorite vitamin line. That's ESTER-C. Ester C.
Waste Home Centers, quality you need, prices you like for all your building supplies, hardware and more, unbeatable value. That's what's in store. In every department, down to every aisle, you find friendly experts serving you with a smile. Waste Home Centers, quality you need, prices you like.
2106 Wayne Memorial Drive, Goldsboro. January is jumping at Deacon Jones Lincoln Mercury. With special promotions just announced from Lincoln Mercury, you'll save thousands. With only 5 new 97s left, all priced thousands below factory invoice. New 98 Tracers, Mystiques, and Sables available through January 31st with 2 rebates that total up to $1,300 or rates as low as 2.9%. All 98 Lincolns now in stock, even the hard-to-find Navigator Sport Utility. Don't wait. Save today at Deacon Jones Lincoln Mercury, Highway 70 Bypass at Wayne Memorial Drive.
It's hard to stop a train. E.T. Fairland's Son of Mount Olive, your quality train dealer, has the Train XL 1200 high-efficiency gas pack designed, tested, and manufactured to last. The XL 1200 will run for years regardless of the climate or weather, and the compressor is covered by Train's 10-year manufacturer's limited warranty, plus 20 years on the heat exchanger and 2 years on all parts and labor. So for reliable year-round comfort, call E.T. Fairland's Son, serving eastern North Carolina for over 50 years, 658-2971. Barnes, Braswell, and Haycock, your hometown attorneys, at 231 East Walnut Street in downtown Goldsboro, across from the courthouse. Barnes, Braswell, and Haycock have been representing the interest of Goldsboro and Wayne County citizens for over 35 years in the areas of personal injury and workers' compensation. Gene Braswell, Tim Haycock, and Glenn Barfield have experience in these areas and will be glad to discuss your case. Call Barnes, Braswell, and Haycock, 735-6420.
The smear of Monica Lewinsky apparently has begun. Anonymous White House officials are portraying Monica Lewinsky as a flirtatious valley girl with a crush on President Clinton. Pentagon colleagues describe her, though, as a hard-working professional unintimidated by power. Army Colonel Richard Bridges, I was often amazed at the long hours that she would put in for the money she was making. Very dedicated. Worked very hard. He described Ms. Lewinsky as competent, energetic in her job. Said this, Nothing in my observation of Monica or knowledge about her would give me any evidence that these allegations are correct. Allegations about her being a valley girl, flirtatious, and all that stuff. So the Pentagon is chiming in here with defense of these allegations that Monica Lewinsky is a nutcase. Here's Donna in Garden City, Michigan, as we go to the phones. Welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Hi, I'm a first-time caller and a first-time listener to your program. In the past...
Today's the first time you've ever listened?
Yeah, my husband does quite a bit, but I've always thought you were... I don't mean any disrespect, okay? But I always thought that you were just... Your opinions were kind of too strong and that you really didn't know what you were talking about. I've had a little bit of a change of heart, however. Since this scandal has been brought through the media, it's causing me to re-examine my opinions of the Democrats and of President Clinton in general. I am very troubled by the allegations that he's denying that he had any type of a sexual relationship with this young lady. Back in 1992, when he first started to run for president, I've always been a Democrat. I've always supported their candidates for...
Everybody's talking.
You will not believe what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. You just won't believe it. In the last hour, we've gotten 3 offers. 1 print, 2 television, to go on and explain a reaction to Mrs. Clinton being that she labeled the right-wing conspiracy. Apparently they think I'm the spokesman for the conspiracy.
Ahoy, mate. The captain is sailing to you. Captain Bob's Seafood Catering Service can feed your crew a country buffet, a stakeout, or a down east favourite, a pig picking, right where you want it. You bring the people, they'll do the rest. Call 778-8332 for catering information. Captain Bob's Seafood, 430 North Berkeley Boulevard, Goldsboro. Ahoy, mate. Let the captain sail to you with his catering service at Captain Bob's Seafood. Call 778-8332.
If you're thinking of buying new carpet this year, take advantage of the buying power of over 500 stores nationwide at Knowles Carpet in Goldsboro. Tremendous savings on all your carpet needs and a variety of brands, styles, and fabric combinations. Knowles also features Karastan Oriental rugs. When you're ready to recarpet, let Knowles Carpet help you save through their association with Carpet One, America's largest carpet retailer. Knowles Carpet, 2311 Wayne Memorial Drive, Goldsboro. Quality flooring expertly installed.
Hear what everybody's talking about. 1150 WGBR, Goldsboro.
NBC Radio News.
We've been there before. We have seen this before. And I am just going to wait patiently until the truth comes out.
First Lady Hillary Clinton standing by her husband as the White House sex scandal is put under the microscope of a federal grand jury in Washington. Mrs. Clinton says the charges against the president are a part of a vast right-wing conspiracy. John Whitehead, an attorney for Paula Jones and head of the conservative Rutherford Institute, reacted to Mrs. Clinton's comments as he was delivering documents to the grand jury this morning.
When you hear that kind of stuff, and I think we should respond this way, show us the facts. Who conspired where? I mean, who? Who's conspiring to do what? And who are these people they're talking about?
The Whitewater Independent Counsel, meantime, is mulling over whether to give the intern at the heart of the scandal full immunity. Monica Lewinsky's attorney detailed for Kenneth Starr what his client would testify to if granted immunity. I'm Barbara Porter.
Telcard needs you to take a minute of your time to tell you about the most exciting business opportunity of a lifetime and how you can get started. A business where there's no selling required, no debts to collect, no books to keep, absolutely no overhead, and the best part is it's an all-cash business. 800-791-0999. That's 1-800-791-0999. Find out how with a small investment you can earn possibly $500 a week or more, maybe a lot more, and work as little as 5 hours a week. Whether you're spinning your wheels at your present job, retired, or just need extra income, call 800-791-0999 to find out about this exciting opportunity in this explosive new industry and how you can get started. Imagine working 5 hours a week and possibly make $25,000 a year. year. You deserve the financial security you've always wanted. Get in on this ground floor opportunity that's about to explode on the American market. Timing is critical, so call 1-800-791-0999. That's 800-791-0999.
There are reports of a White House meeting between Monica Lewinsky and the president just 2 weeks after she received a subpoena in the Paula Jones case. The published reports say the private meeting occurred after her access to the White House was restricted. President Clinton is fine-tuning his State of the Union message, which is not expected to make mention of the scandal tonight. Lawmakers are expected to greet him with respect for the office and the message, although not all of them will be in the audience because of the sex scandal. Correspondent Becky Bailey explains.
At least one top Republican senator, Larry Craig of Idaho, has declared he'll be a no-show for the president's address. Craig says he'll remain in his Capitol Hill office because he cannot in good conscience applaud a president who is under a cloud of suspicion. Later, the senator's press secretary added that Craig's remaining in his office should not be seen as a boycott, but that the location is more conducive for news media interviews.
Not only is the president working on a speech today, he's also talking with top aides about Iraq. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright is leaving for Europe tomorrow in a hastily arranged trip to consult with allies on the next step. In Portland, Oregon, NBA player Latrell Sprewell has arrived at a special hearing on his fate. An arbitrator is to decide if the NBA and the Golden State Warriors overreacted in punishing him for attacking his coach during practice. Retailer JCPenney plans to shut 75 stores with a loss of 4,900 jobs. Retail analyst Jay Meltzer explains JCPenney's woes.
The economy is sound. People are spending money, but they're going to the better stores and spending it in the well-placed stores. And the marginal stores are suffering and have to be eliminated.
Small appliance maker Black & Decker is cutting 10% of its workforce. That's a major restructuring. On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is trading up 82, currently trading at 77.95. With NBC Radio News, I'm Barbara Porter.
You've been thinking about what it takes to get ahead. Maybe you've considered a whole new career. You know you'll need more education and training. But what you can't stand to think about is all the hassle you'll find at most traditional schools, the frustration of inconvenient schedules. Well, ITT Technical Institute can meet your needs with industry-focused programs of study. Just call 1-800-848-3066 for an ITT Tech brochure. If you're interested in growing industries like electronics or computer-aided drafting, these programs teach practical real-world skills. You'll explore the theory of the technology and experience it through hands-on training in a practical lab environment. Most programs are offered mornings, afternoons, or evenings. Financial aid is available for those who qualify, and job placement assistance is available for graduates. Call 1-800-848-3066 for an ITT Tech brochure. Your future starts today. Call now, 1-800-848-3066. That's ITT Tech, 1-800-848-3066.
Right now, Courtesy Honda's having their exceptional savings sale. You can save thousands on brand new Hondas or pre-owned cars, trucks, and vans. Get a new 97 Honda Civic hatchback, only $9,839. Also, several new 97 Honda CRVs and new 98 Honda Passports in stock. If a pre-owned car, truck, or van is what you need, you'll find them at Courtesy Honda of Goldsboro, Highway 70 Bypass, Goldsboro.
Well, it looks like we've got a cloudy and breezy afternoon ahead of us with periods of rain that may turn heavy at times. We'll look for high temperatures ranging from around 40 toward the northwest to 54 down toward the southeast. We do have a flood watch in effect starting this afternoon, running into Wednesday afternoon. Tonight, periods of rain and rain showers still likely. A stiff north to northeast wind and lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, some lingering sprinkles or light showers, mostly before lunchtime. Highs tomorrow around 45 to 50. I'm Mike Moss at the Weather Center.
Performing my job with flawless broadcast excellence, this is Rush Limbaugh on WGBR. digitally processed stereo. You're tuned to the Excellence in Broadcasting Network, coming to you from the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now, from our studios in New York, here is Rush Limbaugh.
Day 8 of Tailgate. America held hostage to the Clinton presidency. Big State of the Union show coming up tonight, and what's funny is the Democrats all think that the Republicans will be more polite than the Democrats will during the ceremonial applause tonight. Erskine Bowles, the White House Chief of Staff, went up to Capitol Hill yesterday to urge everybody to be polite. Phone number, and we'll get the phones here pretty quickly since we have delayed we took, one phone call last hour, so we'll get to those of you who have been on hold here very quickly. Just a couple of things. The New York Post today has begun a new series entitled The Clinton Suck-Up Hall of Shame. The Post is rejoicing that they have finally been joined in their efforts to expose the deceits of the Clinton presidency now by the rest of the media. The Post welcomes them, yet they say they find it hard not to recall that the very same media have provided cover for the president. So they've begun the Clinton Suck-Up Hall of Shame, the purpose of which is to expose statements in support of the president that should bring a blush of embarrassment to their authors. For example, quote, this story, it's about Jennifer Flowers, this story from a dubious source who was paid money by a thoroughly disreputable paper has dominated the Clinton campaign. This shabby accusation has distorted and contaminated not only the political system, but the judgment of some of the news media. Personal and political morality has been confused, as has the critical distinction between reputable and disreputable sources. That quote, Al Hunt, Wall Street Journal, January 27, 1992. Next, this quote, you can never say for certain that a person is lying, but if she wasn't, I'm a body language illiterate. It is frightening and disorienting to watch hundreds of colleagues hurl themselves off a cliff in slow motion by reporting her charges. Those words belong to Amy Schwartz of the Washington Post, January 29, 1992. All this, by the way, about Jennifer Flowers. Next, Lawrence Barrett, writing in Time magazine, February 3rd, 92, quote, never mind that Flowers herself is already on record as denying the relationship. Syndicated columnist James Jackson Kilpatrick, January 92, quote, in agreeing to the 60 Minutes grilling, Bill Clinton took a gamble. He won hands down, and good for him. I'm not ashamed of Clinton, I'm more ashamed of us. Next, Newsday, an editorial, February 2nd, 92, quote, a few months from now, whether Clinton's in a race or not, it's fair to suggest that few may remember Jennifer Flowers. The whole extravaganza has been little more than a passing media squall. Bob Beckel, Fox TV, January 26, 1992. It's the worst despicable demagoguery I have ever seen by the press corps in my entire 20 years in politics. And finally, Clarence Page of the Chicago Tribune, February 2nd, 1992. We can be comforted that whether or not Clinton was watched like a hawk in the past, he'll be watched like one now. Really, Clarence? Well, now, if you mean 1997, yes. Anything prior to that, Clarence, and you'd have to say that the only people that were watching him like hawks were the trusted and valued members of the right-wing conspiracy, of which I, of course, am a leading member. Proudly so. State of the Union show is tonight, and what you're going to see here is a list of programs to expand government, to take care of people at every walk of life, every juncture in life. Some of the things that are going to be proposed, Social Security reform, using the budget surpluses, if there are any, to shore up Social Security, expansion of Medicare, a Bill of Rights for patients, $22 billion in subsidies and tax breaks for child care after school, minimum wage increase. Get ready for it, folks. And also, I want to predict this to you, just because I've gotten mail today, email from people who've been online, talking to the liberals that occupy these online chat rooms. And I really advise against that, unless you are of strong constitution, because they'll shake you. I mean, they won't shake you; they'll just frustrate you. They will destroy your hope in the future of America, because they appear to be so obtuse. They appear to be so blind and stupid. And it'll be, my gosh, they're never going to get it. I wouldn't even waste my time with it. But I just want to prepare you for those of you who occasionally find yourselves weak. After this State of the Union show tonight, I have no doubt the president will give just a sterling performance, and that'll be the story tomorrow. I'm warning you. How could he, under such pressure, deliver such a warm, forceful, and amazing speech? The ability of this president to focus during times of stress is something we've never seen in the White House in the history of this country. Get ready for that. That's coming tomorrow after the sterling State of the Union show tonight. And a reason for it will be not only the president's... We're dealing here, as George Will said today on the op-ed page of the Washington Post, we're dealing with a sociopath. He has the ability to compartmentalize, and when he goes up to that podium tonight, he'll be on stage and all this other stuff. Won't even be in his mind. He'll deliver this speech, and it's going to be great. And the liberals and many in the press are going, man, this is great. See, this is why the sex stuff shouldn't matter. I want you to get ready for this, folks. Get ready tomorrow for a whole change of course. This is why the private life shouldn't matter. Who could do a better speech? Who has a better agenda for America? Who cares more about our children and our elderly? Who but President Clinton? No Republican would advance this agenda. We must learn to separate the private from the public life. Get ready for it. It'll be a 1, maybe 2-day story, and then this other stuff will creep back in. Because as Richard Cohen said today on the Washington Post op-ed page, what we have here is an administration that is akin to an ice sculpture, melting slowly under warm lights. The melting has begun. Ice sculptures are not... Once they start to melt, that's it for them. Depending on how big they are, it takes some time. But that puddle is growing larger. I just want you to be prepared for what will appear to you to be, in the press, a total 180, starting tonight after the speech. Now, all this is taboo or moot if the speech is a flop. I will be stunned if the speech is a flop. Andrea Pizer, writing today in the New York Post, asks the question, why is this woman smiling? Meaning Hillary. Answer, well, she's got her old job back. She's back sucking up any crumb of power she can get. And with her president weakened, she's thrust into the primary role, what she's wanted all along. This is Andrea Pizer, a woman, writing this in today's New York Post. We'll take I wonder if any of these TV shows that are looking for right-wing conspirators to respond to Mrs. Clinton on TV will call Andrea Pizer of the New York Post. I should tell you that the New York Times is called PMSNBC. No, is it PMSNBC or NBC? NBC, the NBC, not PMSNBC, the NBC. And who else? Access what? Is it Access Hollywood? Access Hollywood. Have all called and have asked HR to ask me to appear on TV shows tomorrow morning to respond to Mrs. Clinton. And just so you know, we have refused explicitly and totally because of the way they're framing the show. They want members of the right wing to come on and respond to Mrs. Clinton's right-wing conspiracy charges. And I am not a spokesman for the right-wing conspiracy, nor was my name mentioned by Mrs. Clinton in her remarks about the right-wing conspiracy, so we have politely declined to appear on these programs. In the old days, I would have done it, folks, just for the exposure, but no longer. I don't look at it that way, so I just want you to know that they've asked and we have said no precisely because of the way they are structuring these shows. They said, look, anytime you're having a discussion, and a general discussion of all this, and you want some commentators, and you'd like Rush to be part of a wide array of commentators to discuss this, give us a call back, but not under the auspices in which you're setting up these shows now. Take a break. Be back in just a moment.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
About 6 months ago, the manufacturers of a product named Coldies called me. They wanted me to do commercials for the product. I said, what is it? They said it's a zinc lozenge that will actually reduce and shorten the effects of the common cold. And I said, well, I can't do a commercial for that until I know whether it works. So they sent me a bunch down. Well, there was a problem. I didn't have a cold. How was I going to test it? But I had a lot of people who were doing work in my home, my friends, who just happened miraculously to have a cold that day. So I said, would you guys try this? And they were eager to try. Nobody wants to have a cold. They tried Coldies. And I asked them in about a week, did it make a difference? And they swore up and down that it made a difference. And they wanted to know what it was and where they could get more. Coldies lozenges are homeopathic. They are all natural. They are non-sedating, and they taste great. And you know what? They work. You want to reduce the time you've got a cold, get Coldies. Pick up Coldies at Walgreens, Kmart, Farmore, Albertsons, Eckerd's, and fine stores everywhere.
Presenting the Starr's Movie Channel theme song. Starr's is movies. No boxing, no concerts, only movies. Movies too big to miss, with hits just out of pay-per-view like Ransom and the English Patient. Starr's is what a movie channel should be. So call 1-800-758-5555 and say, I want to see Starr's.
Do you need to replace your inefficient heating system with a high-quality gas pack or heat pump? Then call New Hope Heating and Air, your Rheem dealer. Rheem heating and air units are tough and can take years of just about anything. To replace your inefficient air or heating system, just call New Hope Heating and Air, your Rheem dealer, and start enjoying the air of quality you get from a quiet Rheem heating, air conditioning, or heat pump unit. It's easy to get a Rheem unit for your home. Just call New Hope Heating and Air, a CP&L quality heat pump dealer, 778-3804.
At Scott Motor Company, customers get cash back because we know cash is king.
During the month of January, get $750 cash back on V6 Pontiac Firebird, $750 cash back on Pontiac Sunfires, $1,500 cash back on 98 Grand Ams, and up to $1,500 cash back on Pontiac Bonneville SE.
Well, you know cash is good.
Hey, what about those interest rates? How about as low as 1.9% on the hot new Buick LeSabre, Buick Park Avenue, and sleek Buick Riviera? 1.9%. Big cash back and low interest rates are two great reasons to get your new automobile today. Make January your month for cash back and low interest rates at Scott Motor Company, Pontiac Buick GMC truck, where this month cash is king. Call today, 1-800-951-SCOTT, or visit Scott Motor Company, located Highway 70 bypass in Goldsboro.
Hi, Tom Carroll from the WGBR Morning Show. And a couple of reminders if you're going to be out driving around today. The Caps Bridge Road is closed and Ferry Bridge Road is closed. That basically due to the high water of the Neuse, which crested at about 20 feet and still expected to rise today. We'll have more on that with local news director Tom Bisvick as the day goes on. And make sure to join us tomorrow morning. We've got a couple more lunches to give away to Pope's Southern Cafe in the Best Western off the Highway 70 bypass in Goldsboro. Hear what everybody's talking about on 1150 WGBR.
It's now time to go to the phones at 1-800-282-2882. David in St. Louis, hello, glad to have you with us.
Hey, Rush, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I really appreciate it because I'm confused this morning. I was fine until today, till I heard Mrs. Clinton's interview with Matt Lauer. And till that point, I was willing to take them at their word. Now I don't know which word to take them at. And when she was asked about her husband's relationship with this young lady, she said the truth will come out. And then she said it again later, so if the truth will come out, then we don't know the truth yet.
Well, yeah, that's the good question. Does she mean the truth will come out the White House or the mainstream media or the NANGs? What truth? If she's waiting for the truth to come out, then she's got a death wish.
Well, I thought they already told us the truth.
Well, you know, that is a good point. That really is a good point. The President of the United States is the one who knows the answers to all these questions, and yet they say they're going to cooperate with the investigation. That really is an excellent point, David, and I'm glad you made it. Now listen to this, folks. The President said he's going to cooperate with the investigation. What's the investigation? Well, to find out if Monica Lewinsky is telling the truth. Who knows whether she's telling the truth? And the President, now you may say he's denied it. He hadn't answered any questions about this. There are a whole lot of follow-up questions that even the mainstream press wants to ask. And Mrs. Clinton can certainly get the truth if she just goes and asks her husband, and if he, well, the only problem with that is that he will be the one furnishing the truth, and can you count on that? She, better than any of us, knows how unreliable that is. So, I mean, the bottom line is there really is no need for an investigation if the President wants to be truthful and get the truth out. For Mrs. Clinton to sit there and say, well, when the truth comes out, well, get it out. Because the truth is known inside the White House, nowhere else. And you could save everybody a whole lot of time. Rick in Tempe, Arizona, hello, and welcome to the EIB Network.
Hello, Rush. This, in light of the Wiley testimony, or the Willie testimony, I forget her name exactly.
Kathleen Willey.
That's correct. Isn't the entire Hillary Clinton defense totally moot? Isn't it? It's meaningless?
Here's what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and this is being reported today. I've seen the Washington Times. I don't know if it is anywhere else, but there is a sealed affidavit signed by Kathleen Willey, and it has apparently been, well, somebody's seen it. This affidavit happens to be sealed by the federal court in Richmond, Virginia, but a source familiar with it has seen it, apparently is reporting what's in the affidavit. And the affidavit of Kathleen Willey indicates that the President made unsolicited advances toward her. A quote from the affidavit is this: he grabbed her breast, he put her hand on his genitals. Mrs. Willey, in her affidavit, says to the President, we shouldn't be doing this. Mr. Clinton, in the affidavit, responds, I always wanted to. This incident occurred November 29th, 93, when Kathleen Willey met alone with Mr. Clinton to request a full-time job because of family financial crises. Her husband, Edward Willey, Jr., committed suicide the same day, November 29th, 93, because of the money problems. Now, the details about the President's unsolicited Oval Office advances to Mrs. Willey reveal possible links to disclosures by Monica Lewinsky and Paula Jones. A second source has confirmed the substance of the Willey incident with the Washington Times, but refused to discuss specific details. Two sources, not including the original informant, say that Mrs. Willey's sworn deposition in the Paula Jones case is not inconsistent with the Lewinsky disclosure, but neither would characterize her testimony further. So that's the latest here in these bimbo eruptions, that Kathleen Willey is sworn in an affidavit to the details of an unwanted advance by the President of the United States. Here is Cynthia, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for waiting.
Hi, Rush.
Next.
Just a couple of things. On the little statement that he made about...
Who is he?
Okay, President Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
The statement that he made saying that he did not have sexual relations with Miss Lewinsky. If you look in the dictionary, sexual relations means sexual intercourse, which...
That would... Just one sec. For those of you in Rio Linda, that would mean he did her. Okay?
So, by him saying that, he's skirting around the issue. He's just, rewording it, so to speak. Also, when he said that he did not ask anybody to lie, well, that may be very well true. He might have asked them to deny but not to lie. So there again, he's skirting around the words and, the famous rewording things.
Mike, hang on just a second here, Cynthia. Don't go away. Mike, do we have the quote from Jennifer Flowers on... here. I want, since you bring this up, Cynthia, about whether sexual relations includes coitus, here is Jennifer Flowers and what she has said regarding the president's statements on the subject.
In the 80s, Bill came over one evening and we had this conversation that he had come to this big realization through some research he had done in the Bible that oral sex was not adultery. And of course I said, how ridiculous is that?
But what passage would that be from?
You idiot. I mean, I can't believe you're saying that to me. And I just sort of laughed at him. But he was very adamant about it.
Yeah, that was, you can find that in Paul's letter to Penthouse.
He just, and I know that, some people like that actually, I know people that think like that, and they're in denial. And especially when you've given someone that much power, they tend to really use that, and it's really it's almost a mental disease. But I do want to say on that behalf of a lot of women that I've spoken to, I know women are getting a lot of flack because they're saying, on other talk shows, and I don't know, I haven't listened to you in the last couple of days. I've been really sick in bed, and I've just been out of it. But a lot of women are getting flack because a lot of these women are saying, oh, well, she was 21. What a horrible thing. How could he do that? Well, that's true, but I was 21, and yes, I made some bad decisions at 21. I'm now 43. But the fact remains that the woman had a choice. And
I'm not hearing women say what you're hearing women say. The women that I've been talking to are saying, so what? It's none of our business. It's between him and Hillary, and if she doesn't find anything wrong with it, it's none of our business. It has nothing to do with the way he raises.
Well, that's true, and it's not
the
true.
Country.
Because if we tend to expect our football heroes to bow to a higher moral standard because they're supposed to be, for our kids.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the president. Shouldn't he have to bow to a higher moral standard? He's running the country.
Well, that's my point. Apparently to a number of women, I don't know whether it constitutes a majority, certainly, but to a number of women, no, he shouldn't. It has nothing to do with running the country. Being leader of the country is so important that we need to forgive some of these personal transgressions and problems because it's so important. And I actually think that the reasons that women are saying this can be put into two categories. A, they're either liberals and their bias is overcoming their logic, or they are, well, they only wish it was.
Friends, this is Larry King, alive and well. I've had open heart surgery, and since then, to keep my cholesterol level low, I followed a program that includes Garlic brand garlic tablets. I take one every day. Garlic has been proven to lower cholesterol levels by as much as 25 points. And odor-free garlic contains the highest level of active ingredients of all garlic tablets. So you only need one tablet a day, not the 6 required by other products. Garlic, as in unique. Cholesterol's natural enemy. Garlic.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
It's time for a look at local news. I'm Thomas Vick on 1150 WGBR. Wayne County Emergency Service officials say the Neuse River is now at 20 feet, 6 feet above its flood level. As a result, some roads have been closed. Capps Bridge Road is now closed along with Ferry Bridge Road. Wayne County Emergency Service officials say as of now these are the only 2 roads closed. However, more around the river may close later today as the river continues to rise. Bob Smithwick will work as the county's economic development director a while longer. The Wayne County Board of Commissioners last night extended his contract another 6 months. Smithwick requested commissioners increase his salary another $2,000 and pay the expense on a new car he's leasing. Commissioners rejected that idea and instead renewed his contract without any changes. Smithwick, however, will get his money not from commissioners but from the Committee of 100. They agreed to pay the increases. In military news today, 4th Supporter Group Commander at Seymour Johnson, Colonel Jack Barnes, will be reassigned to Washington, D.C. next month. According to Air Combat Command officials, Barnes will be chief of the Integrated Vulnerability Assessment Team for the Defense Special Weapons Agency. The change of command ceremony will be held February 13th at the 335th Fighter Squadron hangar. Former 4th Fighter Wing Commander Brigadier General Lance Smith has been nominated to assume the grade of Major General. Smith left Seymour Johnson Air Force Base last June to take over assignments, including Vice Commander duties in Korea. The nomination will now be presented to Congress for approval. More help's on the way for Wayne County municipalities struggling to keep up with the rising costs of local highway improvements and maintenance needs. Local governments will receive a portion of $116.4 million from the State Department of Transportation to help cover the cost. The money is allocated using a formula based on 2/3 the annual estimated population of the municipality and 1/3 the number of miles and streets not maintained by the department. It can only be used for municipal street improvements. Parking just made easier at the Kinston Jetport. It's now free. Airport officials say the decision to discontinue charging for parking at the facility was made in an attempt to become more user-friendly and also to bring total air travel expense to a more competitive cost for patrons using the service offered in Kinston. That's a look at local news. I'm Thomas Vick on 1150 WGBR.
Well, there is a flood watch in effect across the entire area through Wednesday afternoon now. Looks like this afternoon, low pressure to our south and east will keep us cloudy and breezy. We'll have periods of rain that may be heavy at times. Highs will range from around 40 up toward Roxborough to as high as 54 toward Kinston and points southeast. Tonight, we'll have rain and rain showers still likely, a stiff north to northeast wind, and lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. We'll call it mostly cloudy for Wednesday. Some lingering sprinkles or light showers before noon. We'll look for highs tomorrow around 45 to 50. I'm Mike Moss at the Weather Center.
Performing my job with flawless broadcast excellence, this is Rush Limbaugh on WGBR. On the cutting edge of societal evolution, this is Rush Limbaugh, talent on loan from God. 1-800-282-2882. By the way, if you'd like to email me, it's not hard. The address, rush@eibnet.com. Here is Brenda in Miami. Brenda, glad you called.
Hello, Rush. Thank you for taking my call. My comment is I have a different take on what you were talking about when you were talking about Clinton making the statement about having sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I think that what he was saying, or is trying to make us believe, is that Monica Lewinsky is a woman and not a girl, because everyone has been emphasizing how young she is. She's only 21, just a few years older than his daughter. And I think he was trying to get that out of our minds by calling her a woman and making us think that he's...
I'm sure you're right. I was making a joke. I'm sorry I didn't make that clear. I parsed the statement, and because of the punctuation where he says, I never had sex with that woman, comma, pause, Ms. Lewinsky, I said that what he was actually doing was sending a message to Monica Lewinsky. Don't sweat it. Hillary and I are not having a sexual relationship.
Well, I think he's just trying to make us think of her as a woman instead of the young girl that she is.
No, well, you are at least partially right. Okay. Well, I'm happy to see so many people now being up to speed. I'm thrilled. Here's a woman calling who's in on it and gets it. Well, this is progress being made here, folks. I told you got to stay optimistic. You got to be patient. It looks like even in mainstream press, they're getting up to speed on all this too. Again, I warn you though, there's going to be a 1 or 2 day timeout on all this after the State of the Union show tonight and all day tomorrow. Just want to warn you in advance. I said earlier, it's going to be, this is the greatest State of the Union speech under the circumstances I can ever recall. Why? With all that's on his head and on his mind, over his, with all that's over his head, hanging over his head, yes. With all that's hanging over his head, all the pressures that he faces, and he's given a speech like this. This is the most amazing, because the Clinton apologists are just waiting for anything. One little solemn grain of something to hold on to here, to grasp onto and say, see? And they're going to get it tonight in his State of the Union show performance. Mark my words. And so tomorrow it's going to be all over the place about how great speech and this is what America needs. And yeah, this is why we really have got to separate the private life from the public life of the president because all you have to do, though, is just whenever you hear that tomorrow, just imagine the president was still George Bush and all these accusations are being made about Bush. Just ask yourself if there would be anybody in the mainstream press saying we need to separate the private and public life of a Republican president. Norton, Massachusetts. Steve, glad you called. Welcome to the El Rushbo program.
Mega second-generation dittos, Rush.
Thank you.
Yeah, last night on Jay Leno, he made a reference to tailgate. That was Bo brought up yesterday on your program. I'm wondering, though, his joke writers must be listening to your program.
Why do you say that?
Well, because a few references on your show have come up in his program.
Well, yeah, we've noticed that on a couple of occasions, and Leno's been asked about it, and he says, you know, there's such fertile ground out there, anybody could really come up with anything here. He's denied that they have listened and stolen anything, and I don't care if they have. I mean, I'm flattered if that's what they're doing. It doesn't matter to me. But the tailgate business, I haven't heard that anywhere but here. That is Mr. Snerdley's idea.
Yep.
Everybody else using Fornagate or Zippergate or all that. And Snerdley said, hey, let's just go with the original gate with tailgate. I mean, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're calling it on this program. And if the Tonight Show wants to sign on to that, well, hell,
yeah.
We're happy. We're happy to be helpful and of service. Danny in Minneapolis, you're next.
Mega dittos from a former KQV listener, Rush.
Thank you. That's Pittsburgh, folks.
Yes, it is. There's one question I didn't expect Matt Lauer to ask it today, but I would wish some journalist would ask Mrs. Clinton, did she feel she was part of a left-wing conspiracy when she tried to bring down President Nixon as a Watergate attorney? And does she see any parallels or irony with respect to what's going on with her husband?
Do you know something about that? We've mentioned it on the program before, but you may not have heard it. Mrs. Clinton, working with Bernard Nussbaum, a former White House counsel in her husband's administration, Mrs. Clinton, working with Bernard Nussbaum in the Watergate committee, actually advanced the notion and filed papers that attempted to deny President Nixon legal representation in the impeachment proceedings. The president doesn't need legal representation. This is not about him. This is about whatever evidence we can gather, and he shouldn't be allowed legal representation. That was her legal opinion when she was working on the committee. But you don't expect Matt Lauer to even know that, much less ask about it, do you?
No,
do you think Matt Lauer even knows that she served in the Watergate committee?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
But some journalist out there knows that, and somebody should have the nerve to ask her.
No, but she's only going to do safe interviews. I mean, this is originally going to be with Katie Couric. She has, unfortunately, lost her husband at a very young age. Jay Monahan, age 42, passed away over the weekend. So she's off this week, and Matt had to step in gallantly and take over this interview segment, which originally was going to be Katie's. So I don't know that she's going to subject herself to journalists who will even know that, much less have the temerity to ask that question. So I would love to see it. You're exactly right. Craig in Charlotte, North Carolina, hello. Welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program.
Rush, thank you very much for taking my call. I appreciate it. Back in 1991, Clarence Thomas practically got ran out of Washington because of something he said was on a Coke can and some videotapes he may have rented. I mean, I can remember during the day...
He did not rent them.
He didn't? Well,
did not rent?
Supposedly rented.
Right.
And, you know, full day coverage, all the networks, you know, just trying to get this guy run out of town. And the people that were leading the charge was the NAG gang, saying that they were all for women's rights. Rush, I have not seen one of them anywhere on the networks all weekend. These people are not about women's rights. They are about leftist wacko politics. That's all they're about. And continually they're being exposed. And, you know, it's about time somebody comes out and just lets them know that we just don't buy their stuff anymore.
Well, I hate this. You know, this is. I'm glad you're on board here. I have been warning people not only about the nags, but about liberals in general, Clinton and Hillary in particular, since 1992. Well, actually, since '88, when I took to the golden EIB microphone. I have proven, or offered evidence of proof over the past 10 years, that the feminist movement is really not about women, it's about liberalism. It's about advancing liberalism. And we've talked about this. You don't even have to cite Monica Lewinsky. Where were they with Paula Jones? They wouldn't come forward and defend Paula Jones. And that was clearly a case of class. I mean, Paula Jones, reputedly a trailer park bimbo, and the nags are these Ivy League educated lesbians, and they think that there's this big class distinction. She's not worth defending. But the truth is that you are right, as are so many other people. It's all about liberalism. Clinton has been true to his abortion agenda, and that's all that matters to them. So, and the feminists are the one group that Clinton's never betrayed. He's made promises and broken promises to every group of people in this country except the nags. So one group that he's not double-crossed. And so Monica Lewinsky, I mean, and that's why I said last week the nags are really caught in a box here. Because on the one hand, you've got one of two possibilities. Either the president is a lying misogynist, and they've been defending him, and figuratively only, if we've been in bed with him for all these years. Or you've got this young woman who is a star-struck, totally overwhelmed with the power of a huge and powerful man. Well, that goes against every nag teaching there has ever been. You're not supposed to want men. You're not supposed to need men. You're not supposed to have men be that much a part of your life. You're certainly not to derive most of your life's pleasure from a man. And here's this woman who was apparently willing to do anything to hang around the guy. They can't win no matter what. I think the nags for the longest time have been a national joke and disgrace. Their membership has never been more than 250,000, even at their zenith. They've never been the spokesman for that body of thought known in America as the women's or female point of view, and yet they've constantly been portrayed that way by the press, but they're not. They never have spoken for mainstream, well, they haven't in the last 8 years, spoken for mainstream American women, and yet they continually are paraded as though they do. But they're just a mass of hypocrites, and they're sinking, and they don't dare come out and say a word about this. There's no side of this they can take now and maintain any credibility because of the previous positions that they've taken. So I mean, the feminists have basically been spayed here, folks. We'll take a break and be back in a moment.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Thinning hair affects your looks and self-confidence. Hi, I'm Brian Reichenberg. You've heard me talk about Kevis and how I've gone from thinning hair to thicker, fuller, healthier-looking hair. Kevis has been used extensively throughout Europe with continued success and customer satisfaction. If you're like me, you've tried dozens of remedies and blown thousands of dollars with little or no result. So don't be skeptical when thousands of clients of all nationalities have had great success with Kevis. The Kevis formula is patented, drug-free, and easy to use at home. Call today and you could try Kevis for several months risk-free. If you're not fully satisfied, yes, we will return your money in full. Get your confidence back now. Don't waste any more time and money. Call 1-800